Welcome back to the channel, Arrakis Central. Please remember to like, subscribe if you enjoyed this content. So, the beta weekend has completed. It was a great time. Many of us got to play during that beta weekend. But right after that, Funcom decided to go ahead and drop another nugget on us, the Communinet number 8. The Communinet, which is basically their little community news release, number 8. So we're gonna I have not read this yet. I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it. So they have their community signal number 8. Their opening words: "Hello again, sleepers. The warmth of summer is slowly creeping up on many of us, and envisioning yourselves on Arrakis gets easier and easier with the rising temperatures. Though hopefully not as hot as Arrakis. First things first, let's address the sandworm in the room. As you may have seen, we pushed Dune Awakening's release date by June 10th. We all knew that already, with the head start beginning on the 5th, which I will be participating in. With these additional weeks, we'll be able to address more of the feedback we received in the closed beta to make sure we get the best experience at launch. We can read more about this in our official statement here." So as you know, they pushed the game back. If you don't know already, the game was originally supposed to launch already, and then they pushed it back to June 5th for the deluxe and ultimate edition owners or pre-orderers, and then June 10th for regular edition folks. So that's fun. It's only a couple weeks away, so that is exciting. So round up the live streams. Catching our live streams is the best way to see the gameplay and our developers in actions. None of the gameplay was pre-recorded, and all the developers were very much real humans, except Joel. That's funny. Joel's a funny guy. Our second Dune Awakening live stream focused primarily on combat. Senior game designer Viljar and expert designer Alex showed off what you can expect when playing through the Imperial testing station as well as PvP. I covered that on this channel, by the way, if you want to go back and look at it. They also touched on skills you can equip and use as well during melee. So I won't play this video, but you can go through here and yourself and go rewatch those live streams. Funcom's done. And I don't know if they're gonna do any more, but they surprise us all the time, so they might come out with some more. Who knows? All right, so we got ourselves the next set. Towards the end of the stream, we also highlighted several structures and details as well as how the guilds will work. This segment was led by Chief Creator Officer Joel Vilos. Okay, yeah, so the videos have cover all that stuff. You can go through building and crafting, story and lore. Yeah, and I'm going to make a lore video based on the Dune Awakening lore. So stay tuned for that. I have a bunch of stuff in the works. I need to get back to my lore videos since that was my bread and butter on this channel originally. So I'm going to get a couple more of those out. And since it's Dune Awakening, I'm going to do Dune Awakening lore. Which the good thing about Dune Awakening lore is everything is the same. Up to the point where Lady Jessica decides not to have a boy and has a girl. So that's where the split is. So it's pretty much all the prequel extended universe information for the universe of Dune is the same. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, the content creators demos. Yep, so speaking of streaming, there were a select few who had the opportunity to play the stream, a preview of Dune Awakening, which I was a part of. So you can go back and watch that initial creator beta where we were able to play the game. And that was awesome, actually. And I have a bunch of videos on that up already. You can go check that out. And you might have seen the videos and streams of this gameplay in the last week. We hope you had fun watching along with the favorite streamers. Okay, yeah, so we got to check that out. Dune Awakening, solid early game, but will it deliver? Worth trying. Who is that from? I don't know who that's from. We'll have to go back and look. We'll have to go back and look at those creators. Mind-blowing exploration. Dune Awakening. We played 30 hours of Dune. And then this highlighted some of the videos. Dang, mine wasn't on there. Oh well. Anyways, yeah, I'm a small fry, so I wouldn't be on there. See, for those of you who love the story and lore of Dune Awakening, we won't want to miss our new story trailer. Yeah. So the story is pretty cool. But it was very vague a little bit, but it looks like what we know of in the story of Dune Awakening is that we do know that Paul is never born. This is a side thread in his vision. So we are living in Paul's head, rent-free, essentially. But he's not born in this stream, this timeline, and it was a girl that Lady Jessica had instead. Like, she followed the Bene Gesserit orders. So then it appears that there was a large war on Arrakis still, but they found out Dr. Yui's treachery ahead of time, which shows in the trailer, and due to Lady Jessica becoming a real full truthsayer ahead of time. So she's able to seek out that treachery, which enables House Atreides to defend against the Harkonnen treachery, and essentially enforces the Emperor's hand and to send Sardaukar to kind of oversee the planet. The Harkonnens are basically pushed off to Harko Village because I believe in the lore, this city of Carthage gets destroyed. This is where they were kind of hanging out at, I guess. I'm going to get into the nitty gritty of the details of the lore of this universe eventually, and start putting these videos out for the Dune Awakening lore, which will be fun. And then Arrakeen, of course, is where Duke Leto and the Atreides are still strongly in charge of. But overall, it looks like the whole planet is a free-for-all at this point, with oversight of Chom and the Sardaukar and the Emperor still. So that really sets up the stage for an awesome MMO. So moving on, of course, they had a lot of the building pieces and all that of Dune. You can go through and watch all these videos yourself. They're pretty awesome. It's a lot of hours to watch, actually. So they had the Reddit AMA. If you're looking for even more answers to questions, you can go to the Reddit AMA. I missed that day. I really don't know how Reddit. I'm not a big Reddit guy, so I'm not really sure how that works. I guess it's just threads, and you go and look at them. So that's something you guys can go and watch. Community creations. We are spoiled with the creations in this issue, and don't forget, those are featured here. Will be invited to participate in the closed beta. If you would like to join before the launch, make sure to share them with us using Communinet signal tag on social. Oh, okay, so I haven't really done much of the creations myself. So we have Sand Walking. They covered their podcast 4. Friendly People. Yeah, Flaming Moho, nice guy. Yep. And Megan, Dead Woman Walking, very nice people. So I actually watched their video. Pretty cool stuff. And then if you don't know, I do a weekly Dune News weekly. So if you are finding this channel for the first time, tune in on Fridays and Saturdays. I do my own kind of free form podcast every week by myself, covering all Dune, not just the game. The next episode of the wonderful community podcast Sand Walking is now out. Join Dead Woman Walking and Flaming Moho with special guest Kia as they talk all things Dune Awakening. Cool. And here's some of the art that people put out. This one's not showing up for some reason. Some of these are not showing up. That's weird. I mean, to me. There we go. They're back. So questions. How will long queues be managed during both Head Start and main release, specifically during peak times given the fact that Haga Basin limit is 40 players? Okay, so they're asking about queue limits. We'll keep a close eye on queues during both the Head Start and the main release date, monitoring and adjusting capacity as needed. There's always going to be the risk of some queuing, but we're planning as best we can in terms of capacity, and we'll keep a close watch on how it develops and makes continuous adjustments to server scaling. For the large beta weekend, we ran with a 60-player cap. Okay, that's pretty good. Maya, she said, when you join your native Haga Basin, is there some kind of priority versus invited players? We'll put a limit on any invited visiting player on Haga Basin to ensure that ones who live there are there as their home. Haga Basin. Okay, so basically, if you come in to visit a server like they mentioned, you're gonna be able to invite your friends from different servers in. I didn't really get to test that out. I don't know if that was even active during was that active during this open beta? I don't know. Yeah, so they'll have a queue on that. How important is the story in the game as in will it become something we follow through all of Haga Basin, or is it just going to be a bit of lore found in labs? Story is pretty important. There's something that you will follow through all of Haga Basin and beyond. You'll be introduced to a variety of characters that will push you along the path. Okay, so everything I've seen, most of the story I saw so far in that open beta weekend was tracking down the kind of the Fremen trials. So that was one of the things that we were doing in that game. So looks like you're looking for the Fremen. That's the mission you're set out on. So Mossy Slot, will we be able to expect regular roadmaps? 4 updates, additional content. Will there be one available at or shortly after launch? Keeping players informed about the state of the game and future development is very important to us, and we will be sharing information on future updates when ready. We do have a list of planned content, but we'll be keeping eyes and ears out for input from the community at launch as well. So along with the planned content, we will want to also incorporate your ideas and feedback into those updates. Okay, so they're just going to basically, they got stuff planned, but if people are complaining about they want certain things, then they're going to focus on that instead. Okay, so, which is, wait, this is him. Wait, that guy got 2. Okay, well, okay. How does map sharing work? Do I print a limited number of maps and sell them, or can I select an option to automatically share what's uncovered with my entire guild? After you unlock the making of a sync chart planetologist skill, you can craft a sync chart and give or sell it to other players, whether they're guild mates or not. When it is consumed, it will give any information that would have been obtained through the initial survey. Oh, okay. The current state is Spice Field. Okay, so you can get those survey maps. You can make them. All right, next person. With the addition of Legacy Dune OST and the Carthog radio play, will there be any restrictions on live streaming around their audio? There shouldn't be any problems, but even so, there is a streamer mode that you can use to mute all music. Yeah. They're not, so the music for Dune Awakening, as far as I'm checking, they're not going to be copywriting that at all. So. And we have several sets of skills we can swap between, or will we have to change each one on a hotbar each time? You have to change each one. Yeah, you have to change them whenever you want to swap out skills. Okay, yeah, you won't have like a sets. You have to change them out. Yeah, like Diablo or something, I think, where you can like change sets or something, or some games like that. You're not gonna have that in this game. How many respawn points can be placed? Okay, that's a good question. When you die, you have a couple options of where to respawn. Firstly, you can craft and place a respawn beacon. You can only have one beacon. Okay, place another. Okay, got it. Another place to respawn could be at your sub-thief. Your sub-thief is where your home base is. I know you can spawn at checkpoints too. As you explore, you'll run into points of interest. You'll have the option to spawn at the last point of interest. Got it. And lastly, your vehicles also work as spawn points, so long as they aren't stored in the vehicle backup tool. You can choose to spawn at them. Just remember, wherever you... I think there's checkpoints, because I was dying in some points in some of the dungeons there, and it was letting me respawn to certain points. I think at some point in the open beta. I can't remember. How many vehicles can you carry at a time? Yeah, up to... it's 10, because I saw on your tool, it says 10. You can own up to 10 vehicles, land or air, at a time. As you progress, you'll be able to craft a vehicle backup tool. Lets you store either one sandbike or a light ornithopter to place somewhere else. You can only ever carry one VBT at a time. Got it. Vehicle. Oh, gotcha. Okay, that was a lot of questions. I hope the stream's gameplay and reveals have fueled your excitement for the launch. Man, we are close. Yeah, and we also have more trailers that focus on what to expect in the endgame as well as combat. Stay hydrated and see you in the next Communinet signal. Cool stuff, guys. So we had one big question people have is we do not know really what the deep desert looks like yet. I mean, we've seen a couple things in their videos, but the nature, how is a deep desert really going to unfold? And with Haga Basin, we kind of have the gist of it, I think, even though we only got a sample of it on the open beta. You know, we're going to be able to, that's where we're going to be able to set up, establish our permanent base, resource gathering, do some of the story missions, all that, start expanding out into different areas. But really, the PvP deep desert is what people are really itching at to see. So I want you to let me know what you guys think in the comments of the video. Stay tuned, so I'll be having more videos come out, lore and other things too, coming up in the next few weeks before launch, and maybe some videos about gameplay. But honestly, what you've seen is kind of what we have. I know we've seen videos of people that snuck in on the other side of the Penta Shield during the open beta and got into the other side. That's interesting. Check that out. I don't know if you're allowed to do that, but I don't think they've gotten in trouble, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, but until then, everyone, go ahead and like, subscribe if you like this content, and I will see you next time.